Hey everyone, Mystic Jade here, and welcome to the very first reading of At Mystic Jade's Tarotmancy. I am very excited to have you here. I hope that you stick around. Please be sure to subscribe. If you subscribe now, you'll be part of the very first subscribers in the very beginning of my journey here. So you have an important role to play in all of this and in my growth. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm very excited to get things started. This reading is just some quick messages that you need to hear right now from Spirit. And it's a pick a pile reading. We have pile 1 here. Pile 2. And pile 3. So go ahead and take a second, meditate on each of these images for a moment, and choose which one that you connect with the most. Try not to overthink it and just go with whichever pile you are instinctually drawn to. Pause the video here if needed, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading, and just a quick reminder, this message is a short and sweet message from Spirit, just a quick message or reminder of things that you need to hear right now from the other side. Let's go ahead and jump right in, and we're going to start with our animal card, and we have the White Stag, Protector. You are an old soul. Your best friend is nature. Use your intuition to take you where you want to go. Awaken to the powerful force within you. You are meant to create blessings with your magic. This is a card to remind you that you are an incredibly protective soul. Part of your job here on this earth, because you're so old in the energetic sense, you've been around this you've gone around this I don't know, all these words. You've been around a few times, you know what you're doing, and you know how to move about in the world in a way that protects others in a very loving way without being aggressive or overly, you're not like a helicopter. You're just gently protective. And this card is asking you to trust your intuition when you're feeling the call to things. Trust that you're being guided in the right direction, and trust that you are incredibly powerful, and you are as protected as you are protectful. Is protectful a word? I don't know, but you get what I'm saying. You're protected and a protector. Okay, let's get into our tarot cards. What we have here, we have the 9 of Wands and Justice. So right now I feel like this is almost like part of the political picture, in the sense, I'm not going to get political in any way. What I'm saying is that you are in such an uproar right now over the way that things are going, and that could be both ways, because you could be upset with the things that Trump has done, having had supported him before. I've never supported him, but you do you. I mean, to a certain extent, that's as much as I'm gonna say. But I feel like there's something in your heart and in your soul that feels a great injustice, and it's almost like you feel like you're carrying the weight of everybody, because you have because you have such a protective soul. You want to protect everybody. You want to make sure that everybody is taken care of, and you don't understand why other people don't see it that way, and it's caused you a lot of stress, and you just really want justice, not only for yourself but for everybody, literally everybody. You just want it to be fair for everyone, and it's it's really hard to move about in the world today. Everything is very expensive. Everything, there's a lot of sacrifice going on now, and all of that. So it's just, you feel like you're carrying the weight of this, and you feel like you cannot release this until there is some sort of justice that has been had. This is not your weight to carry, though, my friend. This is the weight of all of us, and you need to make sure that you are not carrying all of this on your own. You can only do so much. As an individual, you can only do so much, and you are doing what you can already. You are standing up for yourself. You are standing up for others. You are speaking your truth. And it has really come to a point where it's weighing on you, and you really need to find a way to release that and let go and kind of just let things flow and fall into place. Now, that's not to say not to protest or continue to spread the word that means something to you, or that is your truth. That doesn't mean any of that. That doesn't mean to stop. It just means maybe to calm down, or to just remember that you don't have to carry all of this weight on your own. Okay, let's get into our fairy cat affirmation. Depth. You have a depth to you that most people do not understand, and you feel very disconnected from the world. In a sense, you feel very disconnected from society around you, and kind of just like you're in the depths of all of this kind of by yourself, and you keep trying to like spread to, like, I almost feel like both of these energies are parts of you. The protective part of you is trying to build this web, like piece by piece, rope by rope, but every time like you get one section done, it falls into the water because you feel like you don't have a strong foundation, because you don't really have the support system. Like maybe the people around you don't see things the way that you see things. They don't feel as protective as you feel, and you just don't understand how they cannot feel as deeply about these things as you do. The book says, I will cultivate compassion for others by acknowledging there are reasons for the way they behave. That you have the ability to have compassion for everyone, almost regardless of the way that they behave. You have the ability to see both sides, but understand the injustices that are going on, and want to fight for things to be right. Whatever that means for you, you are just tired of the injustice. You have the ability to cultivate compassion regardless of the situation, and that compassion is what is fueling this like protection energy that you kind of have for the world right now, and everything that's been going on, especially in the United States. Like, and you really you have the ability to approach people in a way that they understand and they don't feel overwhelmed, but it's like your inside is feeling this like like anger, like I need to get all of this out. I need you to understand. I want you to understand my perspective. I understand your perspective. I don't agree with it. Why can't you understand my perspective? Like, it's just kind of this like back and forth and back and forth. But I kind of feel like it's time for you to just, like I said, back up a little bit. Don't stop, but kind of calm down. Make sure you're approaching people always in the correct manner, always with compassion, and always in a way that is incredibly meaningful, because you have the biggest heart and you just want what's best for humanity, your family, your future, the people of your family that you haven't even met yet, because all of that is part of this, right? Like everything that's going on is going to trickle down, and it's going to affect our children and our grandchildren and so on. And you just are so bothered by this notion of people that aren't even here yet to be able to make these decisions are going to be affected by these things, and it just really bothers you. Your heart is so big, my friend. Your heart is so big, and it is definitely in the right place. Okay, so this is a yes or no card. So if you can take a second and think of a yes or no question if you have something on your mind. If you don't, that's okay. This card has a lot of other messages besides just a yes or no. These are very deep yes or no cards. So go ahead and take a second and think about a question if you have one, and then I will flip the card over. All right. And the answer is no. However, the card is asking you to seek truth, remember how far you've come, trust yourself. You are standing on the precipice of change. And it's a bunch of signals here with all of the green light. So that's what I like. And it says yes. So, okay. I didn't even realize that. The keywords here are usually not no and yes. So this is like very middle of the road card. You're kind of walking right down the road, and if there was a yes or no question that you had, I feel like the answer is still undecided. I hate saying that because you come to reading for clarity. However, things are still working themselves out. And you need to trust yourself and trust the process, because you are standing at the precipice of change. Like, this is you standing at this long road, just waiting to see what's going to come up in the distance in the horizon. Like I said, all these lights are green. So this no is probably not, it's probably more of just a not yet. And just keep going down this path that you're going down, and everything will work out how you expect it to and how you need it to. Maybe not how you want it to, but how you need it to, and you just need to trust the process. Okay, we have our final card here. Romanticize your life like it's your special film. With the soundtrack and everything, notice the magic. This question is asking you to return to the magic of yourself. Return to those childlike moments when, when you're dancing in your room to whatever was the latest song on the radio, or, whatever made you happiest as a child is what I'm getting. Like, you need to go back to that and feed your inner child, because I'm getting that you dealt with a lot of injustice as a kid. So part of all of this injustice that you're feeling towards what's going on in our world right now is part of your inner child healing. You felt injustice towards yourself all of the time, and you don't want other people to feel that, and you do your best to make sure, as the protector, that you are not leaving anybody to feel like they were done any injustice. But Spirit is asking you to romanticize your life again. Go back to that young heart. Go back to those moments that really fed your soul and made you feel young and happy and free again. You deserve a moment of free, like feeling free and feeling light and just laughter and love. This weight is not all of yours to carry, and in carrying this weight, you have lost some of your smile. You're not laughing as often. You're not joking and giggling as often, because this is all you can think about. I think this card is asking you maybe to take a break a little bit from the internet and the news and go back to the things that really fed your heart as a kid. Even if that's like an old video game or just truly anything, your inner child right now is really asking to be played with. They're asking to dance with you and have fun, enjoy. Okay, I think that is all I have for you, my friends. Thank you so much for sticking around. Make sure to like and subscribe so you can get more readings just like this. I have a lot of plans for the future of this channel, so I hope that you are around for the journey. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. And again, just a quick reminder, this is a message that you need to hear from Spirit. My intention is to make them short and sweet, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. The animal we have is the raven, shaman. You are the creator and magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits and guide through the void. Claim your place as the keeper of the mysteries. I love this card. This card has been chasing me all day. Actually, I've pulled this for myself like 3 times just shuffling the deck earlier. So you know, the message in here is like beautiful. I haven't noticed the details in the raven's feather here before. That's really pretty, and I think that that's a note to you to make sure that you are paying attention to the details. You are the creator and you are the magician, but maybe you're not always seeing the details of every situation. And you really need to connect deeper with the elements of the earth. I'm even starting to see like faces in the mountains. Like, I'm really taking a second to sit with this card. I've had this deck for 5 years, 4 years, 5 years. 5 years. Yes, I've been reading for 5 years. This is my very first oracle deck, and I've never seen those faces or the detail of this feather. So make sure that you are be reading between the lines and that you are seeing the details and everything. Not everybody is able to pick up the details, but you can. You just have been overlooking them. And this is your reminder that you are incredibly powerful and incredibly like magically inclined. And if you would just pay attention to the details and put a little bit more effort into putting the fine details together, fine-tuning the fine details, your magic would go a lot further. Okay. Interesting. That's what I have for the animal. Let's get into the tarot cards. All right. We have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. Oh my. Wow. That's... You think... I don't even have words for this. I have never pulled the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles together. You are doing so well. And if you feel like you're currently not doing well, this is your future. Look at all of the love and family on these cards. I'm getting emotional, like, just looking at this. Like, truly, this is incredible. If you're partnered up right now, you really need to make sure that you are nurturing this relationship and that you are being nurtured, because you're with your soulmate, or your soulmate is on his way, their way, her way, if they're not there for you already. And this is what your future looks like. I don't even know what else to say here. These 10s are the ends of cycles. 10s are accomplishment. You've worked your ass off to get here, and you have a family, whatever that family looks like to you. It could involve children or it could not, but whatever a family looks like to you, you have that, and you're full of love, and it's going to fulfill you in ways that you never understood. And it's going to help, it's going to bring you financial security. There's going to be a great balance in this relationship. The balance of the feminine and the masculine are going to be like, I'm just seeing an infinity symbol with the spark just like flying through it over and over and over. Like, you are destined for this family setting. And I'm just seeing all kinds of different families flash before my eyes. I'm even seeing settings where it's a best friend and a best friend, and they're getting married to take care of a family, kind of to take care of their kids kind of situation. Like, there are so many iterations of what family means, and whatever that means for you, it's on its way if you are not living it already. This is incredible. Incredible. Okay, let's get on to our fairy affirmation. Silence. So this card is asking you to make sure that you don't get overwhelmed in all of this, because as good as it feels, it can be overwhelming. So you need to make sure that you are taking moments of silence and solitude and honoring yourself. And I feel like the best way that you honor yourself is by being quiet, and not in like a stop talking or anything like that. It's just in silence, in moments of solitude, in moments of peace. That's where you recharge. And just remember to not get lost in all of this, and remember who you are. Remember that you're this badass, powerful shaman, and you have the messages inside of you already. You already know the answers. You're able to teach others, and the way that you recharge is by sitting in solitude, silence, meditation. Okay, I want to read the book a little bit just because it kind of confirms what I'm saying. It does confirm what I'm saying, and it's, a nice message. So it says, I remove the distractions of modern life to help me listen better to my authentic self. Leaving the modern world behind and stepping into the forest feels like diving down into a cool, still pond. We don't realize how overbearing the constant noise that surrounds us is until we remove ourselves from it. While far from silent, the sounds that occur in nature are gentler and more soothing. The deeper into the forest you go, the quieter it becomes as the trees begin to insulate us from the outside world. What remains are sounds that are beautiful and a balm to our overstimulated lives. So I think that in order for you to recharge, a great way for you to recharge yourself is by doing meditations and like forest visualizations. Words work, I promise. So it's just really important that you're doing meditations where you're visualizing whatever your calm, serene environment looks like. That might look like the depths of the ocean. Imagine yourself there, especially if you've ever been diving before. Like, you know how that feels. I don't know how that feels, but you know the calm and the serenity that comes with being under the ocean or comes with being in the forest. Take yourself back to that place when you meditate, and that is going to be the best way for you to recharge. Okay, let's pause. So this card here is the yes or no question. So if you have a yes or no question, right now is a good time to rethink on that and sit with it for a second. If you don't have a yes or no question, that's okay, because this card carries a lot more messages than just yes or no. So go ahead and take a second to think of a question if you have one, and I will get the card turned over. All right. We have no. Patterns. Do not judge. Take advantage of opportunities. Expect romance and be open to new encounters. So, this card is saying that if the relationship that you're in right now doesn't feel like this, it's time to go, because this is what you deserve. This is what you're headed towards. This is what you've worked so flippin' hard for. If you're not with a person who is making you feel loved and whole and accepts you for who you are, up, down, backwards, in every way, then it is time to go. And I know this says do not judge, and that's not you judging that person. That's you setting the standard for yourself. That's you understanding that you deserve better than being left to feel however this person leaves you to feel. I'm getting lack of communication sometimes. I'm getting, so of course this is not going to be for everybody. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't, please. Like if you are in a happy, healthy relationship, please ignore what I'm saying. But there are many people that are going to click on this reading. So this message is for somebody. It needs to be said. It is not you judging that person. It is you setting boundaries for the level of respect that you deserve. I'm getting lack of communication. I'm getting lack of consideration for your feelings sometimes. So you need to be open to the idea that you are not stuck with this person and that you have the power to change things so that things look more like this for yourself. And it may take some time. It takes healing. It takes change. It takes you getting a better picker or building a better picker. You know what I mean? Like, it's not easy. It's going to take work, but you need to be open to the opportunities that are in front of you. And by staying in this relationship, if it is not healthy for you, you are just hindering yourself, and you can't see the light that's in front of you while you're shadowed in so much darkness or cloaked in so much darkness and feelings and heaviness and repeated patterns, things like that. You deserve romance, and you should expect romance, and not the kind of romance that only happens when they need to apologize. The kind of romance that's there all the time, no matter what, every day. You deserve that. Okay, let's get on to this final card. We have the bravery and curiosity it takes to dance gracefully with change. Chaos can be transformative. If it is time for change, you feel that in your soul. You feel the call to make changes that are necessary, and a lot of times we don't do it out of fear of the chaos that will ensue by the decisions that we make. These aren't easy, light decisions. They come with a lot of heaviness and a lot of overthinking and a lot of indecision, right? So have the bravery to make the changes necessary to lead yourself to the life that you deserve. Change is okay. Change is scary, but change is okay. All right, I think that's all that I have. I want to remind you that you have all the answers that you need inside of you. If you feel like the relationship you're in is great, then that's wonderful. Just remember to take the time out for yourself and make sure that this person is treating you with the romance that you desire. Whatever level of romance, love languages, if you subscribe to that, whatever you desire, make sure it's being fulfilled and that you are taking care of yourself in moments of quiet meditation. You're brave and you have the courage to do scary things if you need to. You just have to be willing to take the necessary steps. All right, that's all I have, friends. Thank you for sticking around. I hope that you hang out for future videos, and welcome to my channel, and let's see where this journey takes us. Thanks, friends. Bye-bye. Hello, Pal 3. Welcome to your reading. Again, just a quick reminder. This is a quick message from Spirit, just something that you need to hear right now. I intend to keep them short and sweet, so we're just going to jump right in. All right, we have Penguin, authentic. Reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You're full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations and just be yourself. Don't be afraid to be who you are. I feel like sometimes you get a little bit of like black sheep energy from your family, or you get a little bit of like judgment, and this card is just reminding you to be true to yourself. Don't let others judge you, and just remember to be authentic to who you truly are, despite the opinions of others. You are free to be yourself despite others' expectations, and they will either learn to love you with that or they won't. And that's painful for me to even say, but you know, especially in today's times, like things, that's just kind of how things are. And people either accept you or you don't. And you either accept them for that or you don't. You have to either decide to continue to be around people that don't exactly accept you for who you are, just for the sake of family, or you don't. We all have that choice to make, especially if they're not necessarily hurting you, that it's just from judgment or whatever. I don't want to make any light of any situations. You understand your situation, but the penguin is just really asking you to remain true to who you are. And I feel like the people who really matter will be around you and loving you anyways. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the tarot. We have the Five of Swords and the Nine of Cups. So I feel like this is like where you've been and where you're headed, and you've had to do a lot of defending of yourself and your character and who you are. And it's kind of put you in this position sometimes where you look like the bad guy, but you're not. Like you're just trying to protect yourself. You're just trying to stand up for the truest version of you, because you deserve to be that person. And these other people around you are so small-minded that all they see is this angry person and not somebody who's really just looking to be loved, who's really just looking to be accepted and held in a way that feels good. You don't, and look at the size of these swords, right? They're tiny, they're meaningless. It's like these jabs that your family or these people are taking at you for attempting to speak your truth and be authentic to yourself. They're really not that, I don't want to call them not that big of a deal, because it's all about perspective, right? And I don't know what's being said exactly, but they can only do so much damage. They're only going to do as much damage basically as you let it. They're really tiny. So it's also about perspective. Like, how much is that really going to hurt? Like, yes, if you get poked with a needle, it hurts for a second, but that's literally it. So you can move on and let it go. So kind of just try to let these jabs go. Try to just continue to be true to your authentic self, and don't allow them to rile your spirit, because it's not worth it. And they're not really doing anything anyways besides just upsetting you. Nobody's getting anywhere. And you really are just trying to live in a peaceful, like, abundant life. And I'm almost getting a feeling of like people call you selfish for wanting to live authentically, for wanting to quote unquote have it all. You get a lot of this like, well, you can't have your cake and eat it all. And you're like, well, why the heck not? The cake's right in front of me and it's really freaking good. Like, why can't I have my cake and eat it too? It's not selfish of me to want to live by my authentic self and still have the things that I desire. That's not selfish, and you're not selfish. And the things that these people are saying to you and about you are not true, and they're only projections of how they feel about themselves, because you deserve to sit on your little throne, on your happiness, in your happiness, surrounded by this level of emotional stability that you haven't been able to experience before, being surrounded by so much trauma and negativity. Like, you really are just looking out and hopeful towards this energy of like tranquility and calmness, and your wish will be granted, but you just need to stop allowing other people to affect your energy in the way that you have. It's kind of part of growing up and maturing, is learning that we kind of give people that power over us. And it's time for you to take that power back and really come back into your authentic self and be true to who you are, and know that you are that bitch. Like, what they're saying doesn't matter. You're good and your heart is true. All right, let's move on to our fairy cat affirmation, growth. Yes, that's exactly what I am talking about. Part of growing up, part of coming into this emotional maturity is letting go of that energy that doesn't serve you anymore, these people that aren't serving you anymore. Even if you're in a situation where you have to be around them, pick and choose your interactions. Pick and choose how you take what they say. Don't respond. If they have some stupid crap to say, just simply don't respond. It is crazy how triggered people get by a lack of response to their insults. They expect you to be affected. They expect you to turn into this crazy, angry looking cat. And that's not who you are. That's not who you are. It's who you turn into because you feel like you're constantly being stabbed by their stupid little toothpick swords. And it's just getting annoying, right? It's just getting annoying. So right now it's time for you to kind of grow out of that phase of being bothered by their crap and just living to your truest, just living to the truest version of yourself that you possibly can, because this is where you're going to grow and you're going to flourish, because you are finally letting go of that negativity that's really been holding you back. Their words are affecting you in a way that keeps you from following your dreams, or keeps you from believing that you are capable, worthy, or deserving. And my friend, that is terrible and so untrue. You are deserving of this energy of being calm, stable, still. You deserve that, and you've earned it, and that is part of your growth. This says, I will focus my energy on manifesting positivity in my life. Just like an oak tree can't grow overnight, a good outcome in life takes time and is worth the effort. Life is meant to be a journey, not a destination. Consider that your life is a work in progress and there is always room for improvement. As humans, we have an infinite capacity to learn and change. Be humble and acknowledge the possibility that life still has lessons for you. Use difficult times to foster growth, appreciate the lessons life throws at us, and strive to do better. As we grow, we experience all kinds of things, both positive and negative, that can affect it. As we grow, so does your heart. With each kindness we perform, every positive thought, and every time we are brave in the face of adversity, we strengthen and nurture our hearts. It's not what happens to us in our lives that determine how our heart grows. It's how we react to these things. This is why some people can experience great hardship and loss and remain loving and optimistic. Strive always to water the seed of your heart with positivity, and your spiritual growth will be built on a solid foundation. That's beautiful. I think I don't even have anything else to say about that, but you are in this major point of transformation and growth. You are coming out of this energy and you are letting go of caring what people have to say and what people have to think, and you're now turning that energy into positivity, growth, and transformation, and you're ready to come out on the other side. Okay, this card is a yes or no question. If you have a yes or no question right now is a good time to think on that for a few seconds and focus on the card. If you don't have a yes or no question, that's okay, because there's a lot more messages on this card than just yes or no. So go ahead and take a second, focus on the card, think of your question if you have one, and I will flip the card back in a second. All right, ready or not? Yes. Be open to wealth. Stop expecting something bad to happen. Alignment is imminent. Avoid making any big decisions right now. Shadow. So because you're in such a point of transition right now, you really need to avoid making any life changing decisions. You're really growing into who you truly are and who you're meant to be, and into your truest version of yourself. So you don't want to be making any big life changes or decisions right now. Everything is going to come into alignment. You are walking towards wealth in many forms. Wealth is money, wealth is love, wealth is friendship, wealth is joy. There's so many words or so many things that can go along with wealth, and and mean an abundance of good, right? So just know that you are coming into wealth that you never expected before. And right now you are going through the transformation that's walking you towards this. You are working through your shadow sides currently to get through this. I'm getting journal. You need to journal to get it out. Write out those feelings and then burn them. Just write all of this anger that you have built up that's like lingering in the back, that's just waiting to lash out at the next person who says some dumb shit to you. Write it. Don't say it to anybody. Don't wait for anybody to get mad. Just let it out now so that you have control over the situation and how that feeling, how that emotion is dealt with. You control that, not anybody else. When you give that emotion to somebody else, when you add somebody else to the equation by being angry with them, by yelling at them, by lashing out, you then put someone else in the control of the situation also. It then matters who does. You both sorry, I'm starting to get lost in my words here. It then becomes a situation where both of your actions affect what happens next. Whereas if you just take out this anger on your own in your journal, you control. You are the only one that controls that situation. You control how you feel about it afterwards. You control where those feelings go. You control whether those feelings stay, whether they're valid. You have the power. You don't want to give that power away to anyone else. And as soon as your face turns into this, that's exactly what you're doing, is giving your power away. So journal it out, write it out, and then burn it. Forget about it and let it go, and turn that fire energy and that passion, turn that ash into positivity. Turn it into something that is going to feed your soul and work for you in a way that is going to manifest the future that you desire. Okay, and then look at this card of just complete transformation here. Let's see what it has to say on the other side. Final card. Sometimes the better question is not why, but why not? No risk, no magic, exist boldly. Why not be who you are? Why not exist how you deserve to exist? Why not exist how your soul is desiring to do so? You deserve that despite the energy that is lurking over you. You deserve to live boldly within happiness, and you deserve to take risks in a way that works out for you. And because you've been so clouded by this fear, you have a fear of taking risks, and this anxiety and this shadow energy takes over. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of it. Let go, release it, and step into the truest versions of yourself. Look how big your heart is. You're really becoming the person that you're meant to be, and that person is wonderful despite what you have been through. Okay, I think that's all that we have. Thank you so much for sticking around through the reading. I really hope that you like and subscribe, and you hang around for the journey of my channel. There will be much more readings just like this. Thank you. Bye-bye.